This was an article that we'll go through in real time together. But as we are approaching spooky season, this is the time to do it. I came across an article on for those of you who listen to this podcast who are parents like we are, best first scary movies to watch with your kids. If you're like me, you are constantly trying to introduce your children to scary movies. And some kids are like, we have a cousin, has a little girl who, like, that girl has been well versed in the horror movies from the jump. And so I've seen on social media when our cousin posts about the things she takes her daughter to. Her daughter is old enough now that it makes sense, but she's been taking her daughter to see stuff since she was little. And I'm just like, wow, that's impressive, because I can't get my kids to watch anything truly spooky, but I'm waiting for the day. And so here are some best first scary movies to watch with your kids if you're trying to introduce them to stuff. Hotel Transylvania from 2012, which we have seen that one. It's animated. It's lots of fun. The Haunted Mansion. I don't know that they've seen The Haunted Mansion. There's multiple versions of The Haunted Mansion. I would like to show them the most recent one that came out. Isn't it? The most recent one that came out last year. I'd like to show them that one this year. We'll see how they do. Did you see the most recent one that came out this past year, Ron? It was
No.
Okay, well, I liked it. I liked it a lot. The one that they're showing in this article is the one that Eddie Murphy's in. So maybe that might be nice to show them from a comedic standpoint. I think I haven't seen that one in a long time, but it's Eddie Murphy. I think it's funny. There's The Nightmare Before Christmas, which my kids have seen. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Did you guys ever see that one, Ron?
Wasn't that a series on like Netflix with Jim Carrey?
Well, so it's got Jim Carrey. I think this is just a movie. It's Jim Carrey in a movie. It was based on the children's books. And so, yeah, I'd like to check it out. The Little Vampire, which came out in 2000. I haven't seen that one either. Coraline. I haven't seen I've never seen Coraline. I know a lot of people rant and rave about that one. I've never checked it out. Did you guys ever check it out?
Yeah. That's actually a movie, because I had asked my kids, my 3 oldest, if they remembered what movies, like what their first movie that kind of freaked them out was. And I know Sophia said Coraline was one for her, and Signs.
How old was she when she saw Signs?
Oh, I don't remember.
I mean,
Lorenzo actually said Tremors, which I'm like, really? I love Tremors. It's a fun, campy, like B movie, but that was intentional. That was what the movie was going for. So I love Tremors, but
yeah, to freak you out.
And then, of course, I know my youngest, when he was 3 years old, his favorite movie for a long time was Jaws.
That's right. He latched on to things like Jaws and Godzilla.
I didn't shield my kids, if you can't tell. Yeah.
Okay, there's a movie that came out last year based on a book by Terry Pratchett, called The Amazing Maurice. It looks cool. I wonder if that's available, where that might be available. It looks kind of neat. And then Monsters, Inc., we've seen that. Okay, so The Witches that came out in 1990. This is the version that has, what's her face? Angelica Houston. This movie, I don't know that my kids would enjoy it. It always freaked me out when I was a kid. I don't enjoy seeing these beautiful women turn into gross rats. So, and I didn't see the remake with Anne Hathaway. Because the original, I was just like, nah, again, not my cup of tea, seeing humans deform into gross looking rats. I don't think my kids would like it. I really don't. I don't think it would be their cup of tea. That movie, though, did make me want pet mice. After watching The Witches, I was just like, look at how cute they are. I want a little mouse. I asked for mice a couple of times, and our mother was like, no. Scooby-Doo. My kids are fans of Scooby-Doo. And then 2023's We Have a Ghost. This was a Netflix movie. I watched this with Alex. It would be interesting. I don't know that our kids would really appreciate this movie as much as we did, because We Have a Ghost is it's a really, actually, by the end of it, a beautiful movie and kind of sad and touching. And I don't know if that would really land with them, but maybe. And then 1984's Gremlins. And that would also be interesting, because I remember being really freaked out by the concept of Gremlins when I was a kid, when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. I remember being really scared of the idea of Gremlins long before I ever saw it. I don't know, but maybe if I just throw them in and show them the movie and don't give them any concept of what it's about, they would just accept it. I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen Gremlins. I don't remember. And I remember like subsequent Gremlins movies just being straight campy and funny and not scary at all. But I don't remember first Gremlins. Spirited Away, I think a lot of people are a fan of. And The Secret of Nim.
Why would that be
I don't know.
an entry point into horror?
Well, not an entry point into horror, an entry point into spooky. Like there's elements of spookiness to it, maybe. I don't know. It's been years since I've seen this movie. Muppets Haunted Mansion. They've seen the Muppets Haunted Mansion. I've made them watch that more than once. I have never seen Return to Oz. I know it's sacrilege. Everyone who is a horror nut is a huge fan of Return to Oz. Came out in 1985. That's another one that I just don't know that they would gel with, but maybe they would. I made them watch The Neverending Story. My oldest is like, that movie's weird. Well, I made them watch Neverending Story and I made them watch Labyrinth. And both of them, is like, those movies are weird. I'm like, yeah. I think I was texting Ronnie once because I found the old animated The Hobbit on HBO or something. And so I started showing the kid in The Hobbit, the old animated Hobbit. Ron, when did that come out? 70s? It's giving 70s vibes.
70s, honestly.
So I'm making them watch this movie. I've never seen the animated The Hobbit. And so I'm watching it with them and we're getting to certain sections of the cartoon. And I was just like, Ron, I got to stop this. Like, this is straight up like the people who wrote this were on drugs when they wrote this movie. Because it's just like, it's shrooms trip. That's what it is. It's just like, this is weirding me out and I'm not enjoying this anymore. So the kids were like fascinated. I made them watch it and they were really young and they're just like, no, we can keep watching it. I'm like, no, we're done. I don't want to watch it. This is weirding me out. So we stopped, but I should go back to it and let them watch it sometime. Frankenweenie. I don't know if they've seen Frankenweenie, but they have seen Ghostbusters. I've made them watch Ghostbusters. We've never seen Goosebumps, and I've never made them watch Little Shop of Horrors. I don't know how they would feel about that, but I have made them watch The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, 1949's Disney classic, and The Addams Family. So this one they're talking about the 2019 animated The Addams Family. They've definitely watched those. They love those, but I've also made them watch the 90s live action movies. And Hocus Pocus, they've seen that. There's a bunch on here. Spiderwick Chronicles, Beetlejuice. They've not watched Beetlejuice. They won't. So yeah, a bunch of stuff. We're going to link it all for you guys. Really cool movies to get you guys started. They put arachnophobia on the list, Ron. Arachnophobia is the reason that I'm afraid of spiders.
So that would be a good one. I think a lot of these movies are like, I'm Gen X, so I'm like, whatever, let them watch whatever. So a lot of these movies are like softballs.
I haven't watched
arachnophobia.
Yeah, I haven't watched arachnophobia in so long. Maybe it would be. Maybe it would be totally. It's PG-13. Like maybe it would be a totally.
It's not scary. That's another
scary to me.
That leans into the campiness and the B movie.
Yeah, I was like 9 when that movie came out. Yeah, we'll link that for you guys so that you can give it a look. Monster House is on here, Ron. So
that's a good movie. Yeah. You haven't seen that one, didn't you say?
I haven't seen. Yeah, I've never seen Monster House.
That's a good movie.
King Kong's on here. Your son's a King Kong fan.
Don't Watch at Night is a Nest production hosted by me, Veronica, and Valerie. Editing by Valerie. Music by Omar Chakor. Production support for this episode provided by Lorenzo Villarreal and Alex Street. Listen to new episodes of Don't Watch at Night every other Monday, and don't forget to give us a rate and review. It's the best way to help us grow.